The best place to listen to music, in my opinion, especially when it comes to my own music, is in the setting of a car. Because you know how your car sounds. You've already probably dialed in some settings to make it sound even better. So you have that idea of what a song should sound like. When you get your first mix back, when you go to the recording studio, you record your vocals, and you get that first mix back, the first thing you want to do, or at least the first thing I want to do, is run to the car and listen to it. Coach Dom and I have been in the car multiple times over the past 8 weeks, 9 weeks, doing the same thing, but listening to bigger artists' music and kind of debating, you know, what we think about it, how is the mixes, how did it sound to us professionally, and I feel like we should do that for the kids that we work with too. So today, we're going to listen for the first time. Well, I think he has already listened to it, but this is going to be my first time listening to the records and the mix that we got back from our session yesterday with Manheim Township.
Shout out Manheim Township High School. Woo woo.
God, you tryna teach me. Teach my game how to see. They're in my mind, destroying me. I'm at my full capacity. The fast tryna find me. Somehow I never tryna find me. I can't pretend just to be fine.
You lied to me over and over again. I needed your help, shrugged your shoulders instead. I think the most, not in this bed.
There's no danger, there's no tears died. Just me and God, he's on our side. God, you tryna teach me.
The entire song, I think, is well put together. Like the structure of the song, how we have a bridge kind of leading into that last hook, I think it's a really good structured record. My favorite part is probably the end with Bella's hook and how all the instruments drop out and it's just the drums. I really enjoy that because I feel like it gives that bounce. But also, if we're transitioning into the next record, the next part of this song, it could allow for a lot of things to happen within that.
Those are really good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I really appreciate the lyricism. I like that, you know, it's a positive, inspirational song, but they're still keeping it real and being honest about, you know, their experiences. I think that's the really special part about working with young people. I like that they all singing on it. It's just like, it sounds cool. Like, it sounds good. Like, everybody's not trying to be like a hardcore rapper. Like, they're really, like, there's some soul into it. So, with a new feel, new mix.
And now some of the constructive criticism. And this is the part that, you know, it's a little daunting for artists to hear, because making art in general is a very vulnerable thing, right? But every art comes with objective criticism, right? So this is from my opinion and my experience only, and people may feel otherwise to how I feel. I think that, you know, some of the timing of the lyrics could be a little bit more tightened. And granted, we only had so long. So we had about an hour and a half to work on that one record. And for, number one, students who've never been in the studio before, who have never been on the microphone before, that's a really hard thing to do.
That's a fact.
Hearing yourself, hearing your voice for the first time is a really uncomfortable thing.
I'm even saying for any artist, a seasoned veteran, like an hour and a half is not a lot of time at all.
Yeah, at all. But, you know, overall, I think that it could be a little bit more on timing. Some of the melodies and some of the pieces that were put together, I think it could just have a little bit more timing to it. I think if we had a little bit more time, some retakes of some verses might be a thing. But again, we're on a time constraint, especially when we're working with students who have classes and who have school. Mixing wise, I think that the vocals can be pushed up a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it through the camera, but in our ears over here in the car, the vocals could definitely be pushed above the beat a bit, because I feel like the vocals tend to get drowned out by the beat. And that's just like more of a volume, push up and down type situation, where we go back to the engineer and say, hey, like, can you push the vocals up in this part? Or can you turn this part of the beat down? And that's the little pieces that sometimes, I mean, a lot of the times, artists try to perfect those pieces where we don't know exactly what we want, or we want to hear something different, and then we get that mix back, and then we send that mix right back because it's not what we were talking about, right? And that's where having the vernacular and the ability to talk about what you want when it comes to music is really important.
Just to echo, you know, this part of getting feedback doesn't have to be daunting. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's all about reps. And y'all took the challenge on. I just want to commend y'all again for taking the challenge on. This is one thing we talked about in some of the verses, articulation and making sure that people understand what we're trying to say. And even like for myself, I mean, this is like a whole nother type of frequency, but you know, typically when I'm performing a song, depending on what style of the song, you know, if I'm singing on the song, I may or may not use effects when I'm recording. But if there's effects that are put on after the fact, or like the mix on it sounds a bit different, it's a whole different approach than if I like actually recorded with the effects on my voice. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying in your music, you don't have effects that are already on the vocals?
It all depends on the type of song. You know what I mean? I feel like typically on more like faster beats or more like modern beats that are not like hip hop, boom bap, or soul, I would probably record with the effects. But on a song that's like where I'm trying to like really, really dig deep or sing bluesy or R&B type of style in an old school way, then I probably wouldn't record with the effects if I even need them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's all situational, but again, like it's all about reps, you know? You put the reps in, you learn through the experiences, and you get to find your niche and your process with creating music, right? Like I know some people, even like major artists, some people don't want anybody in the studio with them. Y'all, like these, for the folks that are watching this, these students we were in a pretty intimate studio setting. I feel like it's one of the bigger ones per se, or like mid-sized ones we have in our city. But it was about like, what, maybe 15, 16 of us? Yeah, maybe 20
because
people.
with the camera people.
Yeah, like we had a lot of motion going on in this space. Big shout out to Rok10. But all that to say, you know, it was a great experience and they were really supportive of each other. So I would just say, you know, with more time and experience, just continue to prepare yourself. Continue to get the reps in as much as possible. So now you know, like when you get to the studio, it's by the hour. So knock out as much as you can while you're in there. And we did a great job at that. Let's just continue to get better.
And that's a really good point. Like the time you have in the studio really matters, right? So when you're putting your real money down, your own money down, to go into the studio for whether it's 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever it is, you're constrained to that time period. So you want to make the most out of the time that you have there and be efficient with it. And, you know, obviously we had 2 songs to complete in 3 hours. So each song had an hour and a half to get that done. I do want to say a shout out real quick to Sophie and her part that she did, because when she put it down the first time, I know the nerves were really getting to her, just being in that booth, being on the microphone for the first time, but also she just got over a sickness and trying to get her singing voice back. So like she was trying to ideate on how that would sound like. And then at the end, right before we left, she retracked it and it sounded 10 times better than what she did the first time. So shout out to her and the entire team who made this happen.
I'm gonna say shout out to, you know, I'm gonna just say shout out to Bella for real, yo. Cause for real, I didn't realize that she had all that in her when we first met her the first couple times. You know what I mean? If you know Bella, you know she's a dance machine. But yeah, that's like her thing. But I didn't know that she sang like that. And I feel like building the rapport, getting comfortable with the team. It's all about community too. You know what I mean? Like we don't gotta get into all the details, but like as we build this stuff, the world gets smaller and smaller and we get to collaborate more, do special things and help people find their voice. So ladies, y'all killed that. Great job. And thanks Byron for the mix.
Yeah, good job, y'all. On to part 2. All right, y'all, we are back for part 2. This is a record that you really worked on. So if you want to prep them on, you know, the record, or do you want them just hear it off the bat?
Yes, let's just play that joint.
Got you.
Lord, forgive me for my sins. The weapon formed against me, most of all, protect my kin. I've been walking through this snowstorm with this wheat on me, no tins. Yeah, I'm chasing for the bread, I need the whole loaf. Back then I was a has-been. Grew up and I feel like my life has more traction. Struggle with my mom, but that was back when. Back in 22, I really had no clue.
Ever since then, I've been falling apart. Friends switched up, went their own way. Used to be close, now I don't care if they stay. People so mean, they laugh, they stare. Racist jokes like I don't care. So much disrespect in my face. Gotta stay calm, gotta know my place.
Don't give up, don't give up. Keep going, never stop, never stop. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, man. That's a good record. I go first on this one?
Yeah, go ahead, yo.
First off, great job, fellas. I love the approach on it. I love the beat, of course. Like, the whole thing is really powerful. It's thought-provoking. It's honest, you know. I got a couple favorite parts, but I'm gonna say the first in chronological, I guess, because all you guys snapped out. I really, man, it made me emotional. I really appreciate the shout out to Benny and you just coming with the energy, bro. Like, yo, Jay, you've been a rock from the beginning, dog, and just keeping it real and pushing yourself, bro. Because you were the one that always said, like, yo, I don't know if I can really rap, but like, I really want to learn how to, and I want to try. Bro, you did it, bro. You did it really well, man. So keep going. Keep on pushing yourself. Keep writing. Josiah, yo, I be drawing to him a lot. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. He came with it. You know, when we got into the booth together, we figured out a way to be a little unorthodox with the flow, which I feel like it still fits the record really, really well. And yeah, I appreciate the vulnerability in the verse. Like, the lyricism was immaculate. And then, of course, my guy Ariel to close us out, like, he just was ready. I ain't gonna lie, like, I didn't expect him to be like that. And I love that me and Kenyon, like, kind of last minute thought, let's drop the drums in the beginning of his verse and kind of make it more sound poetic. And I feel like the whole verse, our whole song sounds very poetic. And of course, Jordan with the ad-libs at the end, that was hilarious. But yeah, bro, I really like the record all in all.
It's crazy the contrast between both of them, right?
Yeah.
Like the first record versus the second record. And it's not that it's a versus type of thing, not really a competition, but the perspectives that each of them have taken on the topic that was given, right? So
Yeah, talk about that a little.
Yeah, during our creative writing session, we were just coming up with ideas on, like, first we started with colors. What does each color kind of represent for each student? And, you know, long story short, we got on the topic or idea of how red is a very, like, angry color. It could also be, like, you know, the opposite of energetic. It could be an energetic color, but usually it comes with just like being mad or angry, or and then we had the conversation of how being angry inside, it almost feels like a war in our head, right? It's constantly, we're battling this subconscious or conscious thoughts that we don't always allow others in on. The war in my head took a different meaning for each student, and it was cool for them to kind of elaborate on their experiences. And seeing these two different types of songs, you could see how each of them took that approach, where the girls' song might have been a little bit softer of an approach, saying, you know, this is what's going on inside of my head, and this is how I want to uplift myself to be better. Whereas though, like, the guys, they took that same approach of, like, allowing people in on their story and how those obstacles won't define who they are. At least that's how I what I took from the songs.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
so let me get back on the guy's song. Really, really dope song. You can hear, and this is a shout out to you, your influence on the students and how they craft their lyricism, but also their stories. And, you know, you always do that in very unique ways, which inspires me a lot. And each student that was on that record told their story.
Thanks.
And that was only a little piece of their story, right? So it makes me want to hear more of their story. What else are what else is going through your head? What other experiences might you have to be able to put out in the world because other people can relate to you, right?
Right.
And I tell the students this all the time. There's an audience for every single person, right? Sometimes you think it's your friends. It's probably not your friends who's your audience at the end of the day. The people who you're surrounded by probably half of them won't be bumping the music that you put out or you know, the piece of poetry that you put out, they won't be reading through that or whatever it is. Yeah, not at first, right? Because you know, they're used to you, they know you, they've heard this story, maybe they don't want to hear it in music form or whatever that might be. But there's an audience out there that is looking for answers or looking for someone to relate to, and those stories are very relatable amongst not only your age group, but in adults as well.
I agree.
Because they never got to tell their story either. So, you know, just keep going. I love every single part of that record. I think the mixes, the vocals are so drowned out that I couldn't hear the entire story. But that's something that we take back to Byron at Rok10 and just let them know, like, hey, push those vocals up a little bit. Just in my opinion, and you might feel different about that. Their vocals are so raw, or their pieces are so raw that it doesn't need a lot of effects on it. Like, I feel like it's very straightforward. The beat lets it ride out. What they said allows it to just peek through the beat. And then Mr. Loose, shout out Mr. Loose, because Mr. Loose is their teacher, and he came through with his trumpet and ended up playing on that song. So just to have that dynamic of students seeing their teacher participating in something that they really love creates and builds that relationship even stronger, so that it doesn't just end in the program that we have today, but it keeps on going. The ripple keeps on flowing, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, this is two beautiful records.
Definitely.
Two different sounds, but it all makes sense in the end, and I'm excited to see how this music video comes out.
Facts. I don't know where you guys are going to see this video at, but if you're watching it, wherever you're watching it, if there's a way to comment your thoughts right down here, and subscribe right over there, wherever it's at. But yeah, again, shout out to Mr. Loose, man. I really appreciate you, you know, honing in and being supportive of the group, you know, and us as we facilitate, but also diving in there and doing something uncomfortable. I think it's powerful when multiple people triumph together and do something hard, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to the whole squad. Y'all did amazing. These songs are about to go crazy, and looking forward to next week and getting into it, man.
Yeah. Last shout out is the Township School District for allowing us to come in, and of course the Township Education Foundation for just funding this project and being able to uplift the young creatives, because they need it. They need somewhere to be able to voice their opinions and also tell their stories, because that's the only way they really start to understand themselves on a level that they know what they want in their future. So excited for it all, but we'll see you music video day.
Go Blue Streaks.
Peace.